For me, I suppose I just want to see a wide variety of different firms applying for the awards as well. And I think what we've seen in the past, sometimes it could be a larger firm, it's a particular initiative that they're trying to champion or back. But then sometimes there's a lot of really great smaller firms that are doing really good stuff as well. And I think I just want to kind of see a bit of variety in regards to the size of firms that are applying for the awards.
Is there also opportunities for firms to look at other industries and see what other industries are doing, and then think about how they can apply that to their own business? Because I guess their accountants and bookkeepers might not always be front of the pack type things, but is there opportunities for them also to look at other businesses and see what they're doing?
I also think people shouldn't get intimidated by having to do a lot. It's amazing how many organisations can make small steps to start with, and then just build on that. So I think that's important as well. That covers all sizes of businesses.
So Andrew, is there something about almost like if businesses applied last year, they shouldn't think that it's natural, I didn't win last year, therefore I'm not going to win again, or I'm not going to be in the running this year?
I know. I think one should always. For me, I'm always about adapting and improving, and I think it's a journey. I mean, if I look at some of the other work I do in terms of our international network on ESG, for example, you've got organisations there who haven't started on the journey, and others who are well advanced, and therefore I think it's just not being frightened to have a go. And if you don't get there one year, have another go. You're always making steps in the right direction. When I jump off this webinar, I'm going on to a DEI international call as well, showing about the progress that's made there. So we're trying to influence around the world. So that just gets a different perspective.
Have you thought about entering?
What's that?
Have you thought about entering?
What, these awards?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we always enter these awards. We always enter. And last year we won the Pride Award. And we were really, really pleased on that. Really, really pleased. It was such a big boost to our people, because we have SDGs that we follow when we have individual people that own. This comes back to Katie's point, people who own and actually do things and have a passion for them. It's absolutely vital.
I found that as well. We won a small practice for the middle of England, Wales, Midlands and east of England, and remarkable the effect on the team. And having done this year's entry and circulating it around the team, just sort of, the team are more likely to read that than if I did a presentation on our strategy. I've had to write up the strategy, but because it's our entry to the awards and the evening out in London, they're really keen to see what I've written, which is obviously is our strategy, is what we're doing. But they're more likely to read that than having me telling them what the strategy is. So
but that's because you're engaging with them as individuals and what's really top of their priority list is perhaps don't take this the wrong way, but what might be top of your priority list.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a communications exercise,
yes,
as much as anything. And I wouldn't have applied for the awards prior to this, but I applied because I was going anyway as a judge. So I thought I'd apply, and it's one of the best things I've ever done in the practice. Actually, apply for the award. So really surprised at what benefits come out of it. Yeah.
I think from our perspective, Peter picks up on it. I think there's a sense of pride of you almost being able to kind of know that what you're doing is different and is right. I think it's also great to be able to kind of then almost, it gives you reason to perhaps shout about it. And sometimes I think it becomes a matter of course in terms of, well, we've always done this, therefore you don't always think that you are doing anything great. So that external recognition is brilliant for the team, but also for your clients, and also to give you that bit of a G-up of almost like, right, what are we going to do different next year?
For me, I mean, our ESG and DEI programs internally are led by our people, and for them to get external validation, accreditation just means so much to them. is, you know, it's not a money thing. It's just we're valued, and I think that makes them feel better. It also makes them feel great to be part of a firm that believes in it. So it's part of our purpose and strategy. It is to them, you know, people choose who they want to work for these days, and I think it's important that that's demonstrated.
Mine would be genuine.
I agree. I was going to say, drop the fluff, get to the point, tell us what you're doing, why you're doing it, what results you're seeing. Yeah.
And I would say, listen to your people, because they actually have, you know, a lot of input and suggestions. And, you know, for us, they've helped us get where we are now. So listen to the people.
Well, I was going to say, get the owner of the business to write the application and a member of the team to write the application, and compare and contrast between the two. Because sometimes the experiences of the directors or the ambitions or perceptions of the owners of the business are different to those of the boots on the ground. And I think the standout applications will be those that are able to articulate and demonstrate that the initiatives are firm-wide and not just not just words on page.
My advice is to answer the question on each category. Think about each question and answer the question. Yeah.
I mean, for me, winning on the night was just seeing all the shock and surprise and joy on the face of the team, because we try and take relevant team people up for the awards, and then just being in that what I call positive environment. I mean, it's just great to share. As I can remember last year going to talking to other firms there, and you're all winning each other to do well, and it's just sharing in that and then taking it back to the office. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's a fabulous place to kind of meet people, want to re-engage with people. And I think the fact that it's in an evening, it's quite relaxed, everyone's there to have a bit of fun, and I think that kind of comes across. And there's some great relationships to be made and fun to be had.
I think it kind of came out really from just speaking to our users and seeing so many different great examples of firms doing some really fantastic things. And the users and the accountants, they don't recognise what they're doing is something extraordinary. And we kind of try to encourage people to actually, you are doing some fantastic work here. You really should shout about this a little bit more. And I think obviously when these awards kind of came out, this was something that we passionately, believe and want to support within Bright, within the organisation, and we were like, this is almost like the perfect alignment for us. We recognise that, I suppose, with wider society, the industry is changing, and that stereotypical view of an accountant is quite far away from, I suppose, the experiences that we have with our users, and we just want to recognise that, and I think these awards are a great opportunity to do just that. I suppose, as I said earlier, I'm just hoping to see more applications, more variety in different firms. I think, as I say, I've spoken to a lot of users over the course of the year about the awards. It's obviously something that we started supporting last year and continued into this year. And a lot of customers of ours are kind of saying, oh, I probably should have applied for that. Oh, yeah, it would have been good to have known about that. And I feel like we've been kind of shouting about it, supporting it, and trying to advocate for these awards moving forward. So I'm hoping that the judges are going to be overwhelmed with applicants that are going to be coming through, and certainly we'll get a few more people applying. For me, they're just the absolute best awards within the industry, and they're kind of like the gold standard, really, when we're looking at all the various different awards that are out there for firms to apply for, or software vendors that might be applying for different awards. The Accountant Excellence Awards have got to be the number one awards night in our industry, I would say. For me,
I agree. I think that they are the awards. I'm not sure what other awards are out there, but these seem to be we're topping the class.
And I think just having the word even just excellence in the awards just insinuates being really, really impressive. I just think it sort of shows it's being exceptional in each of the areas that you're going for. I think it's really, really smart, really good.
I guess it's the scale as well. The bit that I find is almost the size of businesses that apply. You've got the smaller one man, one lady businesses, accountants and bookkeepers, right the way through to the kind of the multinational businesses out there. And so for me, it's almost that bit of whatever your size, you can get an awful lot of kind of excitement or a kind of a sense of aspiration of where you could be heading as well.
Definitely. I think they are like a real celebration of all that is great in our industry. And I think, like Jonathan said, I'm really keen to see more and more firms get involved and showcase that, because there are so many brilliant people and teams doing such incredible things. And I think the awards serve as a real time to recognise that, to hear about that. There's lots of people who I wasn't aware of, and then they did an entry. I heard about them through the awards, ended up having a great conversation, learned about some of the fantastic things they're doing. So I think even if you aren't a winner, I think the process for firms of going through and recognising the work that they've done almost serves as a bit of a reflection for them. And I think that activity in itself is invaluable. So I think it's a really, really great opportunity for firm owners, for teams to sit back, to look at the work they're doing, to really think about the impact they're having, and then put that forward amongst their peers for kind of celebration.
Yeah, I think you summed it up really well there, Kaylee, in that word process. For me, it's a great process to go through. And I think it's also that bit of it shouldn't be limited to the partners or the business owners saying we want to apply for it. In our business, it was team members who are kind of coming out and going, these are the awards that we want to go to for, because we feel as though they're relevant and we're doing the right things. So for me, it's almost that bit of create a bit of a rebellion and get other people in the business to kind of create those entries. Prosecco.
I wasn't going to mention the bottles of wine on the table, but since you brought it up, but I think for me, it's just a chance to celebrate with everyone. I think whether people win or not, I just think everyone is always in such a great mood. It's such a fantastic evening of just celebration of all of the great things that are happening. And I think there's a real sense of community on the night, of just everyone being there to cheer each other on. And I feel like everyone leaves, introverted or extroverted, kind of full of energy and feeling like they've left with something important, whether it's an award or not.
Yeah, and I think the venue last year was fantastic in terms of the glitter ball was great, but I think it's a fantastic venue.
Last year I thought the compare was brilliant. It just kept us laughing all the time. Just really good night out, very entertaining.
I genuinely mean it's one of the biggest nights out of my year. It's like the who's who of the industry. Everybody I know is there. Everyone's there is up for a good time. Of course, an award ceremony is a feel-good evening as well. So it's just a brilliant time. I always look forward to it.
Yeah. And I think it's already been said. I think it's great to catch up with people, old friends and new friends, actually, and just share ideas. I mean, I think people generally want to help each other. So it's great. I mean, for me, last year we entered the Pride Awards and the Progressive Audit Firm of the Year and won both of those categories. And it was obviously the first awards, but first for us. And just to see the teams and how much it meant to them for all their hard work that they had done, they will last forever. We were talking about them for months afterwards in the office and in the firm. It's just sharing in their success. If I look how they've grown and built their teams around the firm, just really good. I
think it's a fantastic shared experience for the team. And so I really love it when firms do take a table full of their team members as opposed to clients or industry contacts, just because it's fantastic to see the impacts on people. And you're quite right. They'll probably talk about that for ages.
I think my answer would be why not? Like, if you genuinely believe in what you're doing and you think that you are adding value to your clients, you think that you are building a great team, you think that you are building a fantastic business, why not? What is it that's stopping you? And I think that's a really important question to ask yourself, because the answer to that is going to determine various things, right? If the answer is actually haven't got a good reason not to, get your application done, go through that process, enjoy that. And if you can come up with a genuine reason as to why you shouldn't, then you know exactly what you need to be working on for the next 12 months so that you can enter next year.
I would say they probably deserve it. They deserve the recognition. They deserve the feel goods that will come out of it. And they probably don't realise that they do. They probably just think that what they're doing is standard. It's just a day job. Where actually they're probably doing exceptional work without realising it. And going through the process and hopefully getting the recognition will give them that sort of appreciation for what they're doing.
There might also be a few told you so moments as well, of going, told you we were good.
Yeah, great opportunity to reflect and to look forward as well. So, to think about what, as you've said, some people have said here, great to sort of think about what you're going to do next year so that you can put on your application.
And also just terrific validation of all you've achieved and all you've worked hard for. Externally recognised, as we said earlier.